We're back.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on? I'm Jared.
I'm Josh. What's up, y'all?
And do we want to start off talking about what we just sat through?
Yeah. Might as well get it out of the way.
Man, we just made it through the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view.
Yeah, we sure did.
And it's, it's really not a whole lot to be said about it.
Yeah, man. It's been a nice run, too. Like, a lot of the pay-per-views lately, some of them were like, you get excited about it and it's good, and some of them were total surprises. But today it's kind of like, I don't know. And then you watch it and it's like, I didn't know. What good stuff happened? I mean, to be like, that sounds really jerky, but seriously, what good stuff happened? Attempted murder, that happened.
There was a good tag team match.
Yeah, the Hardys are just, I was telling Jared, man, I'm happy to know that the Hardys are just like, Jeff Hardy's basically Nolan Ryan. He's just never going to lose it, and that's kind of cool. And it was cool. That was a cool match. I liked it too, man. Love the finish.
Yeah.
The finish, like the last, I think they said 37 seconds. We're going to show you the last 37 seconds, and it was cool. I like that replay. That's a good one. I can't believe I got all negative and didn't start with that.
So, man, there was some good stuff on there. I think you had that, and then there was the Braun Strowman heel turn double murder. Hopefully,
the
finish.
The attempted murder finish was pretty cool. That was all right.
I was down with that.
Yeah, I always get down with some double murder.
Yeah. And you had the main event. That's, unmistakable train wreck. It was the typical Lesnar train wreck. It wasn't that bad.
It
wasn't necessarily him. It was probably just kind of what do you? What were we saying? Where do you go from there?
Yeah, we talked about it before, man. Where the problem that I have with booking Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar is that for me, there's only one way to book that. If you don't have Joe win, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate Bill Goldberg. I've always hated Goldberg. Bringing him back and having him beat Lesnar screwed everybody. And that's why I hate it, because to have the guy come in and murder Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe's that guy. If you want someone to do it, that's the guy to do it. But anyhow, we're off that. And maybe we talked about it, man, because Brock did a really good job of, like, he bumped really well, and I thought he got up really well. It was cool. They were working, and it was kind of nice. But on his way back up the ramp, the commentary team is all talking about, well, Joe just got caught, man. He just got caught in the wrong spot, and Brock is still selling the neck, and he's still got the purple face. So maybe they're setting up a rematch. I don't know. I was just hoping that they would move the Universal title into the Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins bracket, as opposed to the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and whenever he comes back, John Cena bracket. I know Cena's on the other show, but I just have this theory that John's going to just do whatever he wants to. That's the whole point about I'll do what I want.
Yeah. So that's probably the other possibility is that I don't think this is going to happen, but you had Money in the Bank last month that Baron Corbin win. They never specified that he couldn't cash in on Raw.
Yeah,
it's assumed that he wouldn't, but that could be a wrench thrown in. We've got some moss getting in the barn up in here.
Real man.
The possibility to throw a wrench into that match, I don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah.
But I still, even without Baron doing that, I still think that might be the plan, is to have a three-way at SummerSlam. And probably, why not throw Finn in then?
Yeah, just working, man. It's cool, man. And but yeah, Brock and Joe was really good. I just don't like the finish because I don't get it. I mean, it was cool the way they did it. That's not the problem. I just don't understand the booking. But the match was real cool. I liked a lot of the back and forth, and it's like, well, okay, we'll see where it goes from here. Cool. It was cool though, man. But it really does just go back to me ragging on Goldberg, because that's what killed me about that booking. Is like, you've killed everybody for 6 months now, because it took you so long to put Lesnar over, and now you have him lose to this idiot to sell video games, and it didn't work anyway because nobody cared about that game. So I think we're just trying to pretend that didn't happen, and I get it. But you know what? You'd have been a lot better off if it didn't happen.
Yeah, just don't do that. Don't go that route.
It was dumb, but I was happy with the match. Back and forth was real cool and just believable for a Brock slog fest. It was cool, man. What else happened? Sasha and Alexa was terrible, but if you've heard us talk, I don't like either one of them. So, of course, I'm not going to. I read this quote the other day, man, and it was like, one game for my life, I'm taking Kobe over LeBron. Well, first things first, I think there's a lot of people that would say that. If you want to have that conversation, that's awesome, especially if we're talking one-on-one. Now, I don't know if they were talking one-on-one or not, or building a team around the guy, but there's a lot of people that would say that. But when you read that quote of like, oh, take that, LeBron, and then you read that it's from Skip Bayless, it's like, guys, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. If you find somebody that will give LeBron even the slightest sliver of credit and then say, well, I'd still take Kobe, well, there's a lot more, I think there's a lot more credibility in that. But Skip Bayless,
for my life, I'm going to be kicking field goals, but I'm taking LeBron.
I'll take Derek Jeter. You know, that's my thing, is like, what credibility does it have? Criticism for LeBron from Skip Bayless? God, that's new. That's just silly, man. But anyhow, I didn't mean to get off on. There was a reason I brought that up for some reason. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyhow, back to the show. That's what we were discussing, was wrestling. And there was some way to tie that in, and I've just sat here and totally forgot it. Sorry.
Alexa Bliss and...
Thank you. Dissing Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks coming from me, come on. That's got about as much credibility as Skip's quote. So it's all good. Watch that one and decide for yourself, man. But
I think what we were talking about watching that match is, why do you not have Nia Jax come out and weigh Sasha when it's over?
That's exactly what I
win or lose.
Yeah, particularly with Sasha Banks selling the back the whole time. You know, that would have been way cooler. Just come out and torture rack or just something, just absolutely something. I would love it if she killed both of them, but that's because I'm a Nia Mark. But yeah, I would just, the whole time I'm sitting there waiting, and it's like, that seems like a missed opportunity.
That's speaking of another match coming up that could probably end up being a three-way. That one.
That would be cool. I would like that, but yeah, man, that was just not my thing. And also, like I was telling Jared, something that frustrates me now is everybody wants to do their Charlotte moonsault to the floor bump, and it's frustrating just because it's that lowest common denominator thing of like, oh, that's how Charlotte got over, because she does a moonsault, and it's like, Charlotte's got way more going on than just being able to do that crazy move, man. It's like, I appreciate that you can't learn match building. It's the same thing of like watching people distribute the ball, or watching people, you know, it's different. Some people like the assist, some people like the score, but I know you can't teach people match building, but it would be nice if people would actually, I guess it's just one of those jealousy things where if you acknowledge it in somebody else, then you are admitting that you're not as good. We've said it a million times. That's what makes Shawn Michaels Shawn Michaels. It's what made Ric Flair Ric Flair. It is what makes AJ Styles AJ Styles. It's the orchestration and what they put on, because AJ Styles' losses are more entertaining than anybody else's wins. Yeah. So it's like, it's just because that, come here, you bottom up building a match, like, God dang, that's cool. And it takes work too, because you have to actually learn your opponents and what they're good at, and you come up with clever counters, and that was awesome. We were discussing that in the Brock match. I was really hoping that about the 9th suplex on Suplex City, you'd have a back switch into the Coquina Clutch. I think that would have been awesome. But along those same lines, to have like the standing Coquina transitioned into the F5, that was dope too. I wouldn't have thought of it because I was pulling for Joe. But for a finish, it's like, that was pretty cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Miz beat Dean Ambrose. Please God, let that be over.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. And it's cool. I mentioned this to Jared during the show because I just get so tired of watching Miz beat guys and they just go away and never do nothing. But Ambrose is okay. You know, the idea of stretching the Miz's title run at the expense of Dean Ambrose is totally okay, because he's Dean Ambrose and he's going to move right on up to the George and Wheezy side of town. That's cool. That's not a bad way to do it if you want to flesh out, like, I've had 9 successive, you know, if you want to do the honky meter for the Miz. That's good. The Mizometer. Oh man, it's too bad he's not an Atlanta kid. He would know, he would get that reference. But if you want to crack out the Mizometer and talk about how close he's getting to Honky Tonk Man's record, that's cool. But that's a good way to do it, because at least it's not somebody that you're hurting. But again, then that's the thing with Brock and Joe. That is somebody you're hurting. But then again, in the Universal Title match, who can you beat to where it doesn't hurt? You mean you only beat John Cena so many times? They're only going to let you. Yeah. But it's cool. If we get a rematch, that's okay. And if not, we'll see where they're going. But the man will tell me where they're going. I've been horrible. I didn't even know Austin Aries was gone till the man told me today. But that's good for everybody. I think so. Yeah, that's good for everyone.
You just can't blame him for wanting to be gone.
I agree totally.
The way he's been done since Mania, not winning the title at Mania, not winning the title at Backlash, whatever the next thing it was, and then again, it's like Come on.
That stuff gets old. It's
Yeah.
just because then it's like, I mean, credibility is a weird word in pro wrestling, but believability is the thing. And and that's my whole thing of like Joe kills everybody and then Lesnar beats him twice. That's kind of messed up. So I just don't know the plan. So I hope if they book him again, I mean, Joe's got to win. But I said that about the first one too.
Yeah.
But it's all good, man. I can't believe I forgot what else was on that show. Oh, Enzo and Cass was terrible because I think breaking them up is just stupid. It's a terrible
good
idea.
idea.
We've talked about it for a while that if you're not breaking them up to move Enzo Amore to 205 immediately to give that show some stick presence,
Then
what are you
why
doing?
bother?
What are you doing? Yeah, man, it's just having him play the Sami Zayn role of little guy gets beat up by big guy. Man, Vince loves that. It's like, oh my God, enough. Lord help, man. Who else wrestled tonight, man? I didn't see the pre-show, so I didn't see the
I didn't watch
cruiser.
that.
I don't either because it's just. I mean, I don't mean to say it's too
Neville
much. but
versus some.
Guy. What the heck is his name? Izawa.
Yeah.
I should know his freaking name. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really bad about that, but that's cool. I mean, I hate that we've decided what's we're gonna do with Titus now, but whatever, man. But I do think that Enzo on 205 would be awesome, but there's just
This would make sense.
it does, and I mean, Cass is a solo star. Sorry, I had a milkshake earlier, so I'm all burpy. Cass as a solo star, I know is just something Vince can't wait for, and I've never seen it. I don't see it. I like the kid, but I love him in the tag
Afraid
team.
it's set destined to fail.
It sure feels like it, man. I mean,
It's not gonna work.
Vince thought Test was going to be a solo star too, and it's like I
goodness.
just don't see it, man.
So that was pretty much the show.
Yeah. Oh, Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. That surprised me that Bray won. I mean, we'll see where
Yeah,
they're going
what-
with it. It's
I
cool. It's just
wasn't
neat.
expecting
It's
that.
just neat that they're wrestling each other. But like, okay. I mean, I hate to be that way, but sometimes it's just the people they throw in there. Like, oh, whatever, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that maybe they'll go somewhere with that. But it's cool. It was disappointing. It wasn't disappointing. It was exactly what we thought it would be. Yeah. Okay. No title changes though, like none, and it seems
Yeah,
kind of rare. It's
that's-
cool. It's okay. It's
Surprise.
just it's just rare. Like okay, all right, y'all, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's been a 4th of July weekend. I
Yeah,
think
baby.
might still have some people shooting off fireworks.
Yeah, it's pretty much 2 weeks around here.
And so because of that, I got to tell my Peachtree story.
Yeah, buddy.
It's an Atlanta thing. It's a worldwide thing now. There's a video on this channel of this past Tuesday morning, Wednesday, whatever day it was, Wednesday I think, of doing the Peachtree in Atlanta. And it's one of those kind of deals where this is my 5th time doing it,
Awesome.
my 5th time in a row. And and Josh has heard this story before, and he's always like, "Oh, forever with the Peachtree." Shut up.
Hey, it's all good, man.
When I was a kid, I'd hear people talking about the Peachtree Road Race in Atlanta. I never knew it wasn't a marathon. And when I just heard road race and heard runners, I just thought marathon, and I thought 26 miles, and I thought, not only will I never do that, I'll never know anybody that will do that. And then a few years go by, and I'm at a church service one night that my uncle's preaching, and he talks about the times that he's done the Peachtree Road Race, and I was like, "What?
For real, man.
What did he just say?"
Hey, Superman.
I know he's not a marathon runner.
For real.
And then realized what a 10K was. I found out that the 10K is the Peachtree is a 10K, and it's not. It started sounding more and more possible till I finally, buckled down and did it a few years ago. And it's just a really neat thing to get out and go do. Whether you're in Atlanta or not, I think they're catching on. There's probably a lot more of them now, especially on that holidays. It's just fun, and it's kind of one of those deals where you can get a guaranteed race number by joining the Atlanta Track Club. I have no idea what's involved with that because I won't know. I'm not trying to sell myself as a runner. I just don't. I'm a Peachtree Road Race walker.
I'm an Atlanta dude, and I like this.
It's fun to go do.
Yeah.
There's 70,000 people, they say, that come out and do it. I think it feels like more than that when you're out in the sea of people going down Peachtree. It's really weird to be walking and seeing people run down some of the busiest street in Atlanta that is usually just packed with people. And so I just see a people, going down the road. It's kind of a Walking Dead kind of vibe. Like, should we be doing this?
God.
Something going on. It's the morning starts, and I planned it just right this year where I didn't even know what time my wave started because they line everybody up in A to Z, what time you're supposed to be there to get on the start finish line and get stepping.
Get down there. Get on the right track.
And I just knew usually, okay, if you're on the road by about 6 o'clock, you'll definitely be there in plenty of time. You need to give yourself, from where we live, you got to give yourself a solid 2 hours. Not because it takes you that long to get there, just because that's the type of crowd you're going to have to wait through. I didn't even know what time my wave started. I get up, I'm getting my shower, I put on my copper fit
Yeah, baby.
knee thing and my ankle thing. I thought everybody was going to call me Brett Favre, but they didn't. So I was like proud about that.
If you wear your copper fit knee and ankle thing and you have a towel and walk around all day doing like this, then they'll think you're Brett Favre. Hey, I look great, man. Hey,
Brett.
That's a pretty boy.
Hey, baby.
I love that commercial, man. Hey. Oh, yeah. That's
right.
him, dude.
I got to tell you, those are the way to go. If you're ever on the fence about trying the copper fit, then do it. It worked out for me.
Awesome, brother.
So I got my shower in, the smell of Gold Bond and copper fit.
Yeah, baby.
I find out that my start time is at 8:45. So planned it just right to get there. I get to you start at the Hamilton Home Station where we live, or
Yeah, baby.
take MARTA if you're gonna go do the Peachtree. You can't drive your car down there to Lenox Square Mall and expect to just walk to the start finish line. The place is shut down for miles around.
It ain't a 10K no more if you do that.
No, no.
You got a long ways. You're doing double marathons just to get to the 10K.
It's the notion that some people have, like, I'm just going to drive down to the mall because that's where the start finish line is.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No,
for you.
it's
not
not.
going to work out. You need to get on MARTA, and it's going to be packed. Plan to be snug with your good brothers on Peachtree
You
race
get-
morning. That's when you really smell, the smell of Gold Bond turns to the smell of buttock
Super fun.
and, just the normal MARTA smells that you smell.
It's like Six Flags in a can.
Oh,
Six
yeah.
Flags smells like
Fast
teen.
moving. At least they took the carpet out can.
Yeah, Six Flags smells like teenage butt crack, but it's open air.
Yeah.
This isn't. So just prepare. It's all good.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to let you behind the curtain quite like this, but my
Gotta
trip,
protect the business.
yeah, protecting that business. Bro. Peachtree Road Race morning, you'll see the map of all the waves that line up past Lenox Square Mall, on down the street past the Target, and I think it's the way they line people up, it even forks to where, A through M goes here and L through everybody else has to go down this street. Don't do that. Get off the MARTA train, you get off at Lenox Square, you're gonna walk up, you're gonna go behind, I don't know what business it is, the bucket shop is a restaurant I used to go to a good bit. You'll walk behind that building. At that fork, get yourself behind that security fence and just walk down that street and let the waves come to you. That's what I was trying to get over in a little video that I made. Just let them come to you. Walking all the way down that street, you need to save those steps. I'm not a road race runner. I'm a walker. I need to save those steps. So it's perfectly legal. Everybody else is doing it. I think a lot more people need to learn that trick. So timed it just right is what I was getting at. Was I do my little trick, keep walking straight because I'm in Group S, I was supposed to make this fork, and kept waiting for somebody in a Atlanta Track Club T-shirt to be like, hey, you gotta go that way. It's like, oh, I do. Well, all right.
Oh darn! I did not.
Oh, I do. Well, I gotta go make a stop up here real quick. I'll be right back to go 3 miles out of the way. And right when I get to the top of the hill where you're supposed to, I was supposed to zig and I zagged. There's my wave coming to meet up with me, and it was all good and it worked out. And then once your wave kind of meets up with you, then you need to get in line, or you're going to get kind of squeezed out, boxed out down at where they do some of the other security stuff and fencing and junk like that. So you at your wave, you're ready to go. I hope you got maybe you band-aided the nips, maybe you did some type of lubricant, whatever you choose to do. That's between you and your maker. I like Band-Aids and Gold Bond and Copper Fit. That's my 3 endorsements I'm going with so
I
far.
like it.
It started out the race. It's always it's an emotional moment. It's 4th of July morning. You're under one of the biggest American flags I've probably ever seen, and you're getting pumped up and you're getting ready to go, and you're starting to think, okay, well, let's just go. And so you're off and you're stepping. You're seeing people that you're starting to get nervous for them. So I think you're gonna be able to make it through this race. You're gonna be all right. There was a blind guy out there, tethered to a younger lady, had his cane. He was out there doing it. There was a old. It's not. I don't want to call the lady old. She was elderly. She had a hunch going on, but she was out there getting down the course and
Doing it, man.
just one of those type of ladies you could tell, don't get in her way. You're going to get pushed over.
Yeah, man.
So it really makes you feel like anybody can get out and do this, and that's the point of my story. Is anybody can do it. You have a start like that. You get to what's known on the Peachtree course as Cardiac Hill. And the thing that people don't tell you about Cardiac Hill is that's not the only incline you're going to go up. It's just the most famous one. It has the most famous buildings on it, the Crawford Longs and the Piedmont Hospital. And at the top of Cardiac Hill is the Shepherd Spine Center. And that's where, if anybody knows that building, usually it's bad news for you. The world-renowned spinal rehabilitation facility in Atlanta. And they wheel those people out, that choose to go out. Don't force them to go out there like, hey,
It's part of your rehab now.
we're helping you. Watch Dr. Sullivan or whoever
This
in
is
the
what
race.
you do today. Yeah, man.
But, when you see people out there and they're, going through some really tough stuff, you're going like, okay, I can deal with my hurting toes or, pulled whatever and finish the race. That being said, one of the things I'll never understand, I'm having a tough time understanding the able-bodied people that line the course. And I think some of the people that do it probably have family in the race, but a lot of people don't. And by the time my wave and people like that get through the money has already been won. The people that show up, the elites that are there to win these thousands of dollars for racing early in the morning, they're already done and long gone. So it makes you wonder, and I guess part of the reason is if you're going to line the course, you're kind of stuck. And it's all one kind of thing, but it just makes you wonder, like, what's going on here? I want to find out more about that.
I
But
don't understand.
yeah, so that's different, and it's all kind of people show out and get out and do it. So if you're ever thinking about doing it, you can, and that's the point of my story that I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to think of any more of the fun stuff that I saw this year that was kind of neat. The course, Google it, see what you think about it. The Peachtree Road Race course begins at Lenox Square Mall in Atlanta and ends in Piedmont Park. That's far in a car, it sounded like to me. But when you get out and you do it on the road and you realize that it can be done, it's, a fun thing to go do. And the stuff that people do for a free t-shirt is kind of crazy. And everybody always, and I'm one of them that usually the first time I see the shirt, it's kind of like, I don't like this one. But then it grows on me.
Grows on you.
And the other thing I will say, and I complain about the people that line the course and watch the race, is don't tell me how close I am.
For real. What the hell do you know, man? You're just standing there, man.
You're going down Peachtree Street, And I will start listening to somebody tell me I'm almost there when you're heading down Peachtree, and to get to Piedmont Park, you have to bust the left at 10th Street. Then and only then, because you still have a ways to go once you get there. When you bust the left at 10th Street, you haven't passed the 6 mile mark yet. And you never go to sleep on that last 0.2 miles when you're doing a 10K. You just don't want to do that. And the people that, when you're on your way to 10th Street and they're telling you that you're almost there, like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm with
Stop
you.
saying that. So that's one thing I need the people that watch the course do
For real.
to start doing. But one of you bust the right at 10th Street, heading down to Piedmont Park. That's where the finish line is. You go in there, you get your complimentary Dasani and T-shirt and food from Whole Foods, stuff like that. Heading down, I don't remember the cross section. I know it's 10th Street and something in Midtown. That's where the Rainbow Crosswalk is in Atlanta now. I tried to get that in my video. I don't think it came across very well because it was in kind of Peachtree road race mode. And I was trying to do some videos going down the course, and then I got to that spot and I kind of realized what I was coming up on and fiddling on my
shoot.
phone and
Yeah,
getting it. I did that thing where I turned it vertical and I didn't mean to do that because it makes everything go. Anyway, that's what I was trying to show. So that was fun to go across. And you get into Piedmont Park and get your T-shirt and go to the Vortex. And the people that do beer shots during the race, I've never understood that. I've had people try to explain to me how, like, well, it's like carbo loading during the race. Like, no, it's not. You need water. Maybe I'll let you get by with. I like the orange Gatorade. I don't like anything else. But let that be a treat. That's what I had to have to look forward to get me through it, is the protein drink and hot dog that was waiting for me at the Vortex in Midtown. That's what helped me this year, is knowing I was going to go do that.
Yeah, man.
Before I even started.
Sure.
Helped me get through it. So I don't get that, the doing beer shots during the race, and it's nothing new. I mean, a lot of people do that with all the different races around the country. That's one of the ones I don't get.
It's the justification of it is what I don't get. Just do what you want to, man. It's okay. It's like I've had people try to justify why everyone should dress up at Dragon Con, and I'm like, just do it. You don't have to. You don't have to justify.
Don't.
Yeah,
If somebody doesn't want to, don't try. You're not going to convince me to do it.
Exactly. That's my thing. Is like, if you love doing it, I do. I love going in costume. It's awesome. Now I've gone as one thing ever because my ultimate goal in Dragon Con dress is comfort, because I ain't having uncomfortable feet. I'm just not. I ain't having it. So I just always go comfy. So I've gone as astronaut Ben Grimm, I think 3 times, and I've got my crossover that I want to do. Oh shoot, sorry about that, y'all. Where I want to do a crossover between the Fantastic Four and Battlestar Galactica, and I want to be Ben Grimm as a Viper pilot. I just think that'd be awesome, because the Battlestar Galactica kids, man, whenever they show up with like just the tanks and the pilot pants, it's like, that looks like the most comfortable thing ever. Now, the only thing you'd have to do is you got to get your boots and like march in them, because you do need to break those in. Other than that, though, man, it's like, yeah, that's cool.
It can be done.
Yeah, oh, totally. It's like, that's a cool costume. Anyhow, but yeah, it's like, man, it's cool, dude. Let me grab this guy. Sorry. It's like, it's totally cool if you want to, but just don't. Come on, you don't have to justify it. Oh, no, man, it's great. Coors Light's wonderful. It's how the real runners do it. No, dude, just do it. Just do you. It's okay.
With that being said, I'm not trying to convince you to do it. If you're thinking about doing the Peachtree, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, that's what we've always been trying to be inclusive and let you know that you can.
Hey, dude, totally, man. It's
when you get out there and you see some of the people that, in my condition,
my condition.
when you see some of the people that are out there with you, you're gonna be like, yeah, I can do this. I can do it just fine.
Neat way to see Atlanta. I would assume, I've never done it myself, but my brother did. My brother did great, man. But it was just, I think that would be a really cool way to see Atlanta. Because again, Dragon Con's a neat way to see Atlanta, but there's folks everywhere, and this is a little different because it's just Dragon Con. They don't clear the streets. It's people everywhere, but it's still Atlanta a little bit. It's thin, definitely, but it's still Atlanta on a holiday weekend. For the Peachtree with them shutting it down, I'm like, that's a cool way to tour the city. That's just
Yeah.
kind of neat, man. It's awesome. Atlanta's cool. It's fun.
Finally, I saw where Shake Shack is. I still couldn't drive you there. I couldn't take you there.
But I
just know it's
know we got one.
not far from the finish lines. You're still in Buckhead. I want to say it's across from the Barnes and Noble in Buckhead. Might be totally wrong, but point is, it exists.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Shake Shack in Orlando. I don't know if y'all know that about me. That's something you need to know.
Something you need to know, man.
So definitely gonna go back there and check that out probably real soon.
Yeah, I need to mark my calendar. I need to mark today because I had a cappuccino shake, and I got to be careful with dairy because it just makes me a fart monster. So I mean, it's cool if it's just me and the man's nice and forgives me. But it's like, okay, I have one today. I better lay off for a bit. But
It's a mutual affliction.
It's all
one of those
good.
deals that we suffer with. But
yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I just tried to not do ice cream at all until we go to Cookout, one of our other sponsors that we'll shout out for again, or the Shake Shack, because I haven't been there either, and I'd like to go. So it's like, yeah, I need to save up.
A Shake Shack order is like the smoked shake stack, I believe is what it's called. So do a single. I'm not into that double mess. I just do a single. It's a bacon cheeseburger with this awesome like cherry pepper tomatoey
Yeah.
salsa
Oh,
jelly
yeah.
on it. And if you're gonna get the fries, get the cheese fries. Then once you do that, you there. It's called Shake Shack. Guess what else they serve? Get the black and white shake, malted. That was real good for me.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Or-
For me.
For me.
That's never going away.
I'm sure as far as the shakes go, they do seasonal stuff, so there might be something else there on the menu that might be pretty nifty this time of year with all the different fruits and stuff going on. But at least I think that's the staple. I think they do that all the time, so you can, sample that one and go with somebody and split one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. I haven't done anything cool. I didn't do the Peachtree at all. I do need to do that just because I haven't lived Atlanta adjacent my entire life. It's just a cool checklisty thing.
This was the 48th running, and so the 50th is coming up.
Yeah.
So I imagine that'll be a pretty popular year. Everybody will be wanting to do it, but there is. I don't know if it's still it's still something that they do or not, but how I always get a number is through every March, you start checking the website. They do a lottery system for numbers, and I'm starting to think this thing might be rigged because I've got in it every year for the past 5 years. So that's how I always get my number. And then there are those people out there, the stories you hear about people trying to get a number just to sell it. I've heard the rumors, at least as far as the track club, if you're caught doing that, it's going to be really bad for you. You won't be able to get a number again. So I've never done that. Been tempted to let somebody use it who, if I couldn't do it, but then I always get that guilt feeling like the day before, like, no, I need to go do it, and I need to go actually use the number. So I've never sold a number, but yeah, you get like I was saying before, you get a number, I think, guaranteed by becoming a member of the Atlanta Track Club. I've never done that. I don't know what the dues are or what's involved with that. Probably won't be finding out. Point is, it can be done, and that's how I've always done it. Because that was the other thing that I wasn't sure about getting into the race. Like, do you have to do like some type of qualifier? If there's something like that involved, like, no, you just go on a website and put your name in, and if you're lucky, you get to buy a number in a few weeks.
That's cool, man.
So that's the other. If you're wondering, keep that in mind.
The way you get numbers for the Peachtree Road races, first you got to get a PSL, and then we'll contact you. We're huge fans of the PSL, just in case we haven't talked about it on the show. It's awesome, just hilarious. Works out great for me because I don't want season tickets for nothing. That includes United. I love United, but I just want to go. I just want to go to a couple. Now, I've done Tech football tickets for years, but I'm a little nervous. I want Paul Johnson to survive this year because this is pretty much it. I just don't think we're going to do seasons. I don't think we're going to do seasons anymore. So it's like I don't want to get a new coach and then cut off my tickets. It's stupid. It's so dumb because I don't know why I did it, but it's just like I got them this year for the Tennessee ticket and the Virginia Tech ticket because Vitek's a big deal. That's the one I love to go to. And the Georgia tickets, I've got, my cousin loves Georgia, so I don't know what we're going to do with them. We hardly ever use the Georgia tickets. The last ones we had.
Sell them and pay for the whole season, damn near.
We've done that before. That's kind of been the thing we did that, it would be, 4 years ago and 6 years ago. And that's exactly what we did. And last year, or the last time, 2 years ago when it was in Atlanta, we decided to go. And it was actually really good. It was a close game. It was 14-13, and it was a year that, Georgia's offense couldn't do nothing, but their defense couldn't have nothing done to them. And it really, 14-13 sounds boring, but it was really appropriate. We played good. We played well enough to keep it close, but Georgia's defense was good. They just played really well. But what was cool was I've had altercations with Georgia. It's stupid. I hate admitting that because I don't like being one of those idiots that gets goaded into fights. But you just have a bunch of drunk idiots at that game on both sides. Tech fans are worse than Georgia fans. I'll admit that straight away. But the worst altercation they got into was actually at the Virginia Tech game with a guy that's a Georgia fan dressed as a Virginia Tech fan. And he had his two little punk-ass kids with him. And he's like, we're just going to go ahead and leave. And I'm like, brother, you might want to so these kids don't see their old man take a beat. And I was furious at that guy because he's just such a dick. And it's like, if you come and represent your school like that, that's different. But trying to pass yourself off as somebody else, it's like, we don't even care. We're Georgia fans. I'm like, why ain't you at home watching the Kentucky game then? Your boys are out up in Lexington doing a good job. You need to go watch them. But last year, 2 years ago, it was great, man. We had like tons of conversations on the way in, tons of conversations on the way out, drunk, midway, sober. It was awesome. Everybody's in a good mood. And it was kind of somber because I think a lot of people knew that Rick was probably going to go. Yeah. So some people were happy about it, but a lot of people were kind of like, well, we got to do it. And I'm like, I hear you. I totally hear you. And the thing was, South Carolina had just made their play for Kirby Smart. So it's like, it's probably going to happen. And I made a joke to some guy like, well, if it all works out, Rick will go to Miami because we did so good against him at Georgia. It won't be a problem. And that's, of course, what happened. I'm like, John coming.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. I'm with you. I haven't been up to nothing. I was going to go and watch. I was telling Jared I got to go get some Dream tickets because I want to hang out in McCamish Pavilion. I love basketball. I like women's basketball because it's more fundamental and I've still got a lot to learn. So
basketball tickets in Atlanta you can actually get.
Yeah, we were discussing that. One of the greatest things about having a WNBA squad, man, is you can basically go to a basketball game pretty much 11 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. It's awesome, so I'm happy about that. But it's also fun to go to the building. I love that spot. And so I was going to go. They had one today, and I'm like, I don't want to go today. And they got one Wednesday that I don't know, I might head down. I haven't decided yet. But it's cool, man. I'm just like, yeah, go watch some basketball. That'll be okay. Because I haven't been to the Braves yet. I'm probably not going to go this year, to be honest with you. I'll just, if I'm feeling it, I'll go. And if not, that's okay. But
I got some games I'm thinking about. But it's always like trying to, that's where the stadium's at now. And getting there from home or work is kind of like, you got to have a lot of time scheduled to do that.
Yeah, man.
Can't always guarantee I'll have that.
I can dig that totally, man.
Basically, schedule the day for that and nothing else.
Yeah. What's my other, my big ticket sports thing? I've already got my Ring of Honor tickets, so that's good. I'm happy about that.
It'll be in August on the 26th.
26th, yeah, man. The Saturday at the end of the month. I'm looking forward to it, man, because we had a blast last time. So I'm just like, all right, this is cool.
Beautiful center stage in downtown Atlanta, home of the old WCW teams.
Yeah, it's holy to television wrestling fans. Very cool. Mm-hmm. My mom had this huge conversation with Cody Rhodes at the last show because it's like, well, there's the autograph line. Give me $40 and you can talk to him. My mom's like, didn't even care, just because the bathroom is beyond that. Yeah. Walks over, goes to the bathroom, comes back, he's like, hey, that's Dusty's kid. Walks right up to him, starts a conversation, and very, very cool. She said he was great, and he was super polite, and just really, it was like, that's awesome, man. But no, it was nice because nobody said nothing to her because she wasn't trying to she didn't have like 4 8x10s or a T-shirt, none of that. It was just, they were having a conversation. So even the people like minding the line were all like, well, that's totally innocent. It'll be fine. They didn't care.
Yeah. Josh's mom and me are all about bypassing barricades and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Something about people telling you not to do something like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go over and do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That's the thing. Is like, with nobody having said nothing, it was this nice conversation.
Just implied.
It was nice. No, that's the thing. So you're exactly right. It was just this nice conversation between the two of them. If they told her not to do it, man, she'd got 4 8x10s, 2 T-shirts. She got the picture with him, man. She'd be in the Bullet Club now. It's like, it's totally, we're totally like that, too.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, for real, man. She'd be like opening Marty's umbrella. It'd be awesome, man. But yeah, that was real cool, and I don't know. It's fun. I like that. But that's my big one. And my other big one is I really am going to try and get in the new stadium for a United game if I can. Those tickets haven't even gone on sale yet, and they will probably be like sweet Pete Almighty when they do. But hey, it's worth trying. It's worth trying, man. And if it's like Bobby Dodd, they're available up until the day of, and then they sell out. So it's not like they're just gone. You can get them. You just got to get them. And I don't know what I'm going to need to sink into that because that's going to be a high dollar thing. So I'm trying to
be, an inaugural season.
Absolutely,
But there's a bunch of seats in that place.
Oh,
so,
yes.
like it's not impossible.
That's the thing.
But that's what we're talking about earlier about not liking the was it PSLs?
PSLs, yeah, personal seating licenses.
Being sold a bill of goods that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Is what we don't like about it. And I don't like the PSL, I don't like the season ticket the same way. I was talking with somebody the other day, like, I don't like Music Midtown. And Music Midtown, for people not in Atlanta, it's basically a festival show that's really popular, and they bring out some big acts every year. But I just don't like the festival show because I don't want to go and sit through a bunch of stuff that I might kind of like or might just be totally bored by. To see the one or two people that I want to go see. I want to go see who I want to see and leave.
Yeah, I can dig that.
I want to be able to go home and say I saw it.
Yeah, the all day thing is a little weird. You see, I'm like that.
It's way too hot out here for that.
Yeah, I'm like that even with something like tailgating, like with college football, something I love, man. I get off the train, go to the stadium, get in my seat, watch the game, get back on the train, and go home. I don't hang out. That's complete contradiction to what I said a moment ago, but that was different. I was walking to the car, and they had the little red Georgia school bus that those guys parked in the varsity park. They were right there. I was waiting for the crosswalk. It was a totally convenient conversation. But yeah, I'm with you. I just like to go and get done. And like they used to do, there was an old rock and roll station in Atlanta that did what was called the Big Day Out. And it was a little different because there were multiple stages, but it was one venue. Here's your main stage, here's your B stage. Music Midtown is literally midtown where like every radio station in town has a main stage. So you go here and here and here and here and here. And I don't like that either. And Big Day Out was cool because it's like maybe one or two bands you really want to see, maybe one or two you're okay with, and maybe some surprises. When I went, because I only went once. Everybody I know is like, you only went once? Because most people went 3 or 4 years.
I've never been at all.
Hey, it was cool. I mean, it's okay. The year I went, like 311 and Beck were the headliners. Beck was very, very good. And 311's a good live band too if you like them. They're good live. Beck was very, very good, and that was kind of fun. Poe, the solo girl singer Poe was there, and I love her, man. I like that album, and she was really good. But the Butthole Surfers were supposed to be there, and they had to cancel. Actually, Jared's brother Jeremy was actually I was with him when we went to see that show. It was a big group of us, and the Butthole Surfers were supposed to be there, and their gear got lost, so they kind of had to bow out. And the refreshments, the Banditos and Jean-Luc Picard stepped in, and it's just 4 dudes playing rock and roll on a stage that had no idea they were going to. They were great, man. It was real cool. That was a fun day, and Gravity Kills was there. Never really big on them, but Poe was very, very cool, and of the ones that I knew I liked some of the songs on that album, but I was like, yeah, I still have that album because of that. It was awesome, and Beck was incredible because I'd heard that he was live. It's like. I'm listening to the record, man, and it's a good show. And I'm like, okay. And then he came out, and I'm like, boy, they weren't kidding. It was good.
That's just the stuff I've tried some of the festival shows, and I've been, and just sitting out, and it's not my thing. And the same part we're just talking about, where you go get your road race T-shirts, the same park where it just gets straight up wrecked.
Yeah,
that weekend.
It's
and
sad.
Seems like the weekend it always seems to rain, so you're in the mud, and either that, or even worse than that, heat. So no, just not into the Music Midtown. The same.
It's that horrifying non-cooling rain too. It's like it's hotter than hell, then it rains, and then it's like the humidity is like, oh, you thought it was bad before? Oh boy, it's rough, man. And one of my things about stuff like that is I despise crowds. I just hate big crowds.
Oh yeah.
And even at sporting events, I like to sit way up high, and it's just not my thing. But yeah, once you hit the 4-hour mark, I'm like, boy, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's not, and they're. The venues like that, when you're in a big park like that, it's almost, you feel like you have to get there early to get that spot at the stage that you may or may not even want to see somebody at. But if you're there to see the big headliner, if you're not there early, and you try to come late, and you have no chance of getting to see them. So
You're going to hear it about the same way you would if you just stayed at home.
you might as well just not.
Who did I see at Midtown that was so?
Oh, good.
I saw a couple of things. I saw Dylan. That was really neat. Now, my mom and I went to see Bob Dylan. 'Cause my mom turned me on to Bob Dylan. So we just hung out behind the stage. I mean, we were kind of far off, but it was like there was no point in even trying to get over there to sit from the front. So we just kind of hung out behind, and it sounded really good. So we were totally content to just sit there and listen. It was cool. And then the Black Crowes, same thing. Black Crowes, I mean, God Almighty. You say Black Crowes in Atlanta, I mean, people turn up. So it was the same thing where you couldn't see them, but we got a great spot to hear them, and they were awesome. And I had Fox tickets to see the Crows, and I did not go. I was sick out of my mind that day, and I'm like, man, I can't go sit in a freaking Fox theater full of weed smoke. That'll make me nuts. So I didn't go, and still kind of regret it. But whenever I feel bad, I just get the live album they did with Jimmy Page and play that, and it's like,
Cool.
we good to go, because that was great, man.
So it's the same opinion I have on shows like Bonnaroo and Coachella and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Just sounds miserable to me.
Yeah, me too.
And I
Just
hear
that many
people
people.
describe it, and I'm like,
That
no.
many people for that long? Oh boy, I can't do it because of that.
Yeah.
But my buddy Tasha loves that stuff. She is a festival girl, and I'm like, rock on, man, do your thing.
Something about it, I'm just not able to do. I'm not able to do PSLs or anything like that, and it's all makes sense to me for some reason.
Sounds good, brother. Yeah, man, there's just certain things that are frustrating. PSLs are frustrating, but if you don't want season tickets, don't matter. It don't matter to Jesus.
Yep. It's the season tickets is kind of the same way I look at it. I like to go pick some of the stuff I want to go see.
Yeah, me too.
And that's it. That's
Yeah.
all.
I'm the same way, man. I like to go see the Hawks 3 times a year because then it's really special. It's like real special. I like to go see the Braves twice a year, 3 times a year. And one of the things with baseball, as much as I love it, man, heat just wipes me out anymore. So I got to be careful. I try to get later in the year, and I really should start going to college baseball games because God, they play them in the winter. But it's just, again, it's very hard to catch a time to be comfortable watching a baseball game. You can go at night, and that's cool. But I appreciate the tip on where the shade is in the new stadium. At least now I know where to buy tickets.
Don't sit in left field or definitely down first base is where you want to be.
That's cool. Freddie-ville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about Freddie earlier, man, just to get this in because we are pretty late. But, man, you talk about a guy picking up where he left off.
Oh, yeah.
Good God Almighty. Oh, boy. Freddie is just – it always happens when you get somebody on your team that you love. You always wonder, like, man, am I biased or is that guy that good?
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman's that good. He is incredible, man. So good job, Fred. Good job on the comeback, man.
So that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Man, one more thing that I need to fit in. If you're thinking about going to see Spider-Man Go,
Spider-Man.
Spiderman,
I love Spider-Man.
went and checked it out. I don't have much of a movie review for it, just because it's a Marvel movie. They're all the same thing, essentially.
Yeah.
And my review was Spider-Man has never been my favorite character like that, but the movie's still good. And what I was going to see was to see Michael Keaton play Vulture.
Buddy.
And if you're going to see that, then you're really in for a treat. And that's all I'll say about it, and go check it out.
We talked about that earlier, man. That the last movie I saw that really just blew my hair back was Patterson, Jim Jarmusch's Patterson. I just loved that, and I'm really Criterion sales coming up, and I'm excited. But I can't pick that one up till they Criterion it because that's going to be worth it. And almost all of Jim's stuff gets done, so it's just a waiting game, no problem. I'll probably hit that one in November. I think I've got my stuff picked out, and I'll let you guys know what I settle on. But the other one before that was Birdman. I watched Birdman, I really liked it, and then I went 2 years and then bought it and watched it again and again and again. And I always liked Keaton anyway, but now whenever I hear the name, I'm all like, oh yeah? Oh really? Okay. And I haven't seen Homecoming yet because I'm a total slacker and I've just fallen off the wagon with I don't remember I think the last Marvel movie I saw was Civil War.
Yeah.
Because I'm just an idiot. But it's all good. But it's like you said, and this would get me in trouble with some people I know, but they don't watch the show, so it's okay. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's like celluloid Ramones. If you like the Ramones, there's hardly anything they're going to do you don't like. Marvel's the same way. They are all the same, and it's great. We like
not calling it bad.
Absolutely
calling
not.
it good.
Absolutely not in the good way. Yes, I like it. So it's cool with them. I'm cool with them all being the same.
I never I started to go see Wonder Woman several times and just couldn't pull the trigger on it just because how much I dislike the DC movies. It's just to that point with them where they've done so much bad will. They're gonna have to do more than a Wonder Woman movie to get me back out to see it. That's just how I feel about it. But the goodwill that started with the Marvel movies is getting Spider-Man back into the fold from Sony is just a good move, and just, it's not by no means is it the best Marvel movie, or I don't know if it's the best Spider-Man movie. I'd still say Spider-Man 2 is
I
that,
was just gonna say so too.
but it's nice to have an origin story that's not necessarily an origin of the powers and this and that and the other thing. And so you can still do that and it not necessarily be something that's already been done twice.
Yeah, for real. Start the movie with no powers. Didn't do that this time. You're right. That's
Yeah.
a cool change up.
So I like that side of it. I love the Michael Keaton Vulture character, and
That's awesome.
just might be one of the best the finishing lines to a Marvel movie. I'll give him that. And it's a line that doesn't even get said completely. I won't spoil it for you. I'll say of what they did in this movie, that's what they did the best of any of the Marvel movies, the best closing line to the movie. So that's
Yeah,
what's up.
I believe you, man. I tell you, God, which one was it that was crap. It wasn't Civil War. It might have been Age of Ultron, but everybody hated it. Everybody except me hated Age of Ultron, so maybe it wasn't that. But that was pretty good. The ending of that one was pretty slick, man.
Yeah.
Just the Avengers ... and it cuts off. Like, hey, go on, that's cool. But that's cool.
The last spoken line
I like it.
of
It's like
any Marvel movie
it's like,
was
it's like Eyes Wide Shut. That's the
Yeah.
last. It's the Eyes
Oh,
Wide
yeah.
Shut last line.
It's similar.
Fantastic. I like it.
So that's what's going on this
Heck
week.
yeah, man.
I'll see you guys later.
Take it easy, y'all.